Have we discussed this topic before? Yeah, that's not the only backtracking pun you'll hear on this episode. We'll try to keep it to a minimum. This time, on the Commune podcast. How have you been doing since the last podcast, Zanrio?
I'm doing fine. Just got home for the holidays and my Christmas break.
Christmas break.
Yeah.
I missed that. Shouty, how have you been doing?
Present. But seriously, I just got done with some major schoolwork, so now I'm ready for my vacation.
Alright. And, WarioFan63, how have you been doing?
Oh, I've been hibernating since the last podcast. I only get summoned when you get me on Skype.
Yeah, you're really getting into the whole dragon thing here.
Yes.
Demon.
Exactly.
Always hibernating. So, WarioFan63, what games have you been playing?
Oh, well, lately I've been playing Bayonetta.
Oh, is that why you sent me that video of Space Harrier?
Yes, that is literally why I sent you that video of Space Harrier. Because I just experienced it myself.
What do you make of Bayonetta so far?
Oh, it's very fun. Very fast-paced. And, I thought I'd be overwhelmed with, combos or whatever. But, it just, you can just get by with just, whacking everything.
Yeah, I feel like Platinum games typically tend to work, if you want to just button mash them through, you can do it that way. Or if you want to get really technical, you can do it that way, but there's, the middle ground is very far apart.
I can see that.
So you're just going through mostly experiencing it aesthetically and just sort of button mashing through?
Well, yeah, I actually did already beat it, but I'm going through to get the collectibles and whatnot and see if I can manage to get, everything in this game. I feel like, a drive to do that. I mean, not just, get all the achievements or whatever, but there's stuff that's not tied to achievements that you can unlock, and that's real cool.
Okay, so it's more than just a hack and slash.
Yeah.
Okay. Zanrio, what games have you been playing?
Well, lately I've been starting to play Animal Crossing New Leaf again.
That is 3DS?
Yes, the 3DS one. That's just doing the winter stuff and activities, mostly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, building snowmen and stuff.
So how's that been going?
It's been going okay.
Haven't angered any sentient snow monsters?
Oh, no. Not so far.
Don't they turn into bombs when you put them up? They start counting down?
What?
They have numbers in their eyes. Doesn't that mean they're bombs?
Yeah, something like bingo snowman, and you get a card and you try getting 5 in a row of numbers, and then you get a special prize. Exclusive prizes.
And if you don't meet their price, they start counting down to explode.
You really just want them to explode.
Who doesn't want a snowy explosion?
Good point.
I feel like whenever I tried to build snowman in Animal Crossing, I never got the sizes right, and they were just really annoyed with me.
Yeah, that's the hard part, getting the right sizes and stuff.
So, Shouty, what have you been playing?
I've been getting back into the Wonderful 101.
Ooh, I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
I should start getting back into Pikmin 3. But, yeah, what? How far are you in Wonderful 101?
I've barely skinned the surface. I'm on the second part of the third mission.
Okay, so you're almost a third of the way through.
Oh, there are only 9 missions?
I think so.
9 or 10?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Oh, that's good.
And what do you make of it so far?
It has lots of little things that you have to pay attention or know what to do to interact with. There's one one of these is roulettes in the casino, and you have to know to notice it first of all, and then use the hammer on it. So I have to know where it stops. At least that's what confused me at first. Oh yeah, in that same level, you have to accumulate electricity from the lightning storm, or the
using the sword.
I thought that was pretty neat, though.
That is a great mechanic. They don't. I don't know. They bring that back a few times, maybe not enough.
Oh.
Is the action worth talking about, or do you think it's just sort of standard hack and slash combat?
I think there are some deviations, especially with the drawing mechanic and the combos.
Okay, I guess that's as far as we'll go, so that this doesn't become Wonderful 101 cast.
It can be Kamiya cast.
Yeah. So Kamiya also worked on Animal Crossing New Leaf?
Oh yeah, he did. I mean, weren't you confused when you were doing the button mashing combo fight with Tom Nook to get discounts?
Myself, I've been playing Galaxy Force 2 on my 3DS, and I realized that even though it's a perfect arcade port, I can't play Galaxy Force 2 on small screens. It's just a personal problem I have.
Then get a 3DS XL.
Well, oh wait. Maybe that is the problem. Because my friend's he's been going through it pretty slowly because it's hard, but he's at least making progress, but he also has an XL.
Well, there you go.
That's an XL.
I've really been getting into shouting right turn and left turn whenever I use my turn signals in a car. Galaxy Force 2 really turned me on to that. Did we want to cover anything else in the intro?
I played Bayonetta but haven't played 101, and I bet Shouty's never played Bayonetta, but he's playing 101. So it's like we're two halves of multiple holes.
Well, Shouty and I will be able to play Bayonetta too soon enough, right?
Right.
So that's just as good.
It's pretty much the same thing.
We've already talked about exploration with Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. Demon's Crest, on the other hand, employs the dreaded B word, backtracking. Up next, we get a wide range of opinions on backtracking, using Demon's Crest as a starting point. This time, on the Communicast, I wanted to talk about backtracking, because Demon's Crest has quite a fair bit of backtracking, but also backtracking is very dumb. You're playing a part of the game that you've already been through, it's redundant, and I find myself asking, what is the point of backtracking? So, Zanrio, I was wondering if you could name a time when you backtracked in Demon's Crest.
Actually, I did that recently. After beating the eyeball boss, I did the same level again to break through the rock so I can get some power-ups, like extra health bar.
That's in the first stage?
That's in the second stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you get out of that experience?
I had to do the same level again, but I ended up in a different place, I know.
Would you say it had a redundant feeling to it?
Yeah, a bit in the start, because hey, it's the same place I've been before. I've already done this.
So, if you had just gotten that health on your first time through, and didn't have to backtrack for it, do you think the experience would have been tighter?
Yeah, I probably won't have gone back, if there was no reason to.
So you really didn't get anything out of it aside from just one extra point of health?
Yeah.
Okay. Shouty, can you name a time that you backtracked in Demon's Crest?
There's getting the urn in the Coliseum area after you defeat the Eyeball Man. You have to use the Buster.
That's an urn back there? In the Buster on the last screen?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you get out of that experience?
I think it's a little more enriching than having to backtrack in the same area as where you fought the Eyeball Demon.
How so?
Because it's not going to the same place right after where you went, and you're also returning to where you first were. So it gives you a new view on things from where you first started.
So you've had some time away from the area. You maybe have developed your skills, or you've seen more variety in gameplay. And so returning back to the first level, you're able to take maybe a more retrospective view of it and sort of put things in context, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it easier that time?
Well, if you go directly after, I don't think it's any easier. Still the same weapons. Unless you, no, it's probably easier.
Well, you have the Buster, but yeah.
Well, I'd say you also have the ground gargoyle.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it might be easier.
But would you say it would still be worthwhile even if you didn't have that urn to get?
Maybe. Because there's certainly a lot of enemies that you could defeat using the ground attack or easily.
You would still have that same element of retrospectiveness and experimentation with new tools that you've gotten.
Yeah.
Okay. Wario Fan 63, can you name a time when you backtracked?
Yeah, in the forest area. After you beat the fire guy, and then you go back and there's less fire there.
Actually, what item did you go back for?
I believe it was a health point.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. The one just like randomly up in the air?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have to look that up?
Well, no. I mean, I saw it on my way over. Was that the one? I know going to that area, there were like two things I noticed I wanted to get. And then I beat the fire guy and I got the tornado power up, and that was sort of like an extra, what do you call it, stepping stone or something like that.
Yeah.
So I went to go get the items I missed there, and then I got back to the burning forest area, and there happened to be less fire there, so I was like, well, this is going to be far easier than I believed it would be.
Isn't there no burning trees when you die anyway?
I don't know. I didn't
against the boss.
Well.
Yeah, we have it on video of me dying to that boss, and then the fire goes away.
So you don't really have to backtrack.
It seems like you would have gone back anyway just to see if there were any items you missed, and you happened upon it happily.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, sort of. It was just like I knew I missed it, and I knew I didn't have what I needed to get it, and then I beat the boss, and he gave me what he needed. And I was like, well, that's great. What fun. I can do the things I wanted to do. So,
using that, would you be able to say what you got out of the experience of backtracking?
Well, I kind of felt smart that I knew I had what I needed to get that stuff, the urn and the life point after beating that fire boss. So I did feel a little like, hey, I'm clever. I'm observant.
Yeah, it was, you were rewarded for your observation. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, I'm trying to put it into words, but it's not coming right now.
Yeah, I know.
When you saw what you got from the boss, you were rewarded for your previous observation, and instead of having to apply it to things you hadn't seen yet, you instead were, like, asked to examine what you had previously seen.
I recognized that this was a solution to problems I had already witnessed.
That's kind of neat as a puzzle-solving mechanic. So I was wondering, Shouty, can you name a time that you backtracked that felt weird or out of place?
Weird or out of place?
Like, you found something and you were like, what?
Probably most notoriously, it would have to be the urn in the water section after the town, where you have to go down and the urn is just right there.
Unceremoniously.
It's just sitting there. You'd think it'd float up to the surface, too, because, that's what bottles do.
Well, you fill it with water. Well, yeah, at least
fill it with water.
The hand talisman is hidden behind a wall, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's in the same area.
So that felt out of place because you didn't feel like you were solving a puzzle?
Yeah. I think it was just, hey, you got the crest of water. Now go get this.
Isn't that what a lot of the puzzles are like, though? Like you mentioned getting the urn in the first stage. you know those are buster breakable blocks. It's not hard to figure that out.
Yeah, but I still think that requires some intuition to know what can be breakable by the buster.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Whereas you're explicitly told that tidal gargoyle can swim through water.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say that's an important distinction. So that felt out of place for you because there was no puzzle involved, and most of the backtracking in this game involves some sort of deduction, however shallow. Mario Fan 63, have you had any strange moments of backtracking that didn't feel in keeping with the rest of the game?
Well, I don't know if this quite counts, because I'm not sure if this... I mean, usually backtracking refers to going back and getting optional items. But, like, in my instance, I don't think this is the best example, but my thing is that, when I first played the town area, I immediately went to the graveyard area at the end, because I thought, left to right, that's natural progression there.
Yeah.
And then, that area was getting a little hard for me, so then, I found out that most people are usually go back to that watery area just before there and use the earth demon to, uncover another path. It's like, wow, you're supposed to do that? I didn't even realize that was the thing there.
I guess that is backtracking, like re-examining areas you've been to previously.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect a whole path to be hidden, obscured like that.
It is strange that, in Demon's Crest, the path forward is often ambiguous. I found that playing Stage 4 before Stage 3 was helpful because the air gargoyle is very useful in Stage 3. And like the instance you mentioned, where the hidden path offered a helpful weapon, whereas the regular path just gave you, an extra health point. Yeah, that is strange, but I think it works in Demon's Crest's favor, where choosing the right path forward isn't always obvious and is a puzzle in and of itself, where that requires some deduction on your end. Like, you got stuck, and then you had to rethink what you were doing.
Right.
That's a neat way of playing up on the adventure elements of the game.
What I think is awkward about that, though, is that the path forward is the hidden one.
Yeah. I think that's the point, that if you get stuck, you should re-examine what you've been doing. Mm. That's, I guess, also my tactic for the bosses, where, I tried to defeat the crawler with the Earth Demon, and that wasn't working, so I tried, Buster, and that worked alright. So, Zanrio, did you have any unusual or out-of-place experiences backtracking in Demon's Crest?
I haven't had that much time to play, so I don't really have that one I told you about so far. I've only done backtracking that one time so far.
Okay. I guess you've gotten a decent preview of what backtracking in Demon's Crest is like.
Yeah.
It's already awkward enough.
I was wondering, Mario Fan 63, I think we've already named what you find enriching about backtracking in Demon's Crest, but are there any elements that make it redundant and not worth your time?
Not that I've seen so far, I suppose.
Okay.
I guess it's just rewarding just to get these new elements and going, oh, I can use this thing over here. That's great.
Yeah, you haven't had that experience where there wasn't some level of satisfaction involved.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well. Okay. Hold on. Let me think about this. Okay. I did feel a little, sometimes I feel like I'm missing these really obvious ones here that just, isn't there a very out in the open item in the first area that you can get without needing any power-ups?
You have to headbutt a gargoyle statue.
Oh.
I missed that on... Oh wait, there's also, something hidden on the second screen if you go down as opposed to going forward.
Oh.
I forget what that item is. It might be a vellum.
I think it's an urn, actually.
Okay. So yeah, the first level does have some easy items to miss on your first time through when you don't really get what the game's doing. That
is kind of tricky of them, isn't it?
It's neat and a way to make the first stage worth replaying, even though it doesn't require any air gargoyle or ground gargoyle use.
That is true.
And I think Zanri already mentioned that, I think she already covered the answer to, what she felt was redundant about it.
Yeah.
Shouty, did we discuss that with you? Is there any part of the experience you find redundant or not worthwhile?
Not necessarily not worthwhile, but most of the time when you're backtracking, you gotta replay an entire section of a level over again. You can't just exit out, and I found that really obnoxious. And but it made me think. I had to plan out my playthrough of the game, in which I didn't have to replay as many levels as possible.
So it incentivized smart play by making not smart play really boring.
Yeah. But you wouldn't really know this in your first playthrough.
No, I think in my first playthrough I went back and replayed all the stages every time I found something new.
Yeah.
But it at least makes you think about how to deal with enemies, and you can experiment with different forms and different powers on enemies.
Oh, yeah.
Part of what I think is redundant is that power-ups like Claw and Tornado don't really do anything for you. They don't occupy any unique space in your moveset. So going back and exploring with those felt really dumb.
Yeah. Especially with the air crests.
Yeah, exactly. The air crest just nerfs everything. It makes me question why those items are in the game, and that feels really weird and out of place. I guess it's just a weird and unusual fatty element of the game where I feel like most other elements have you might not initially take the path forward on the second stage, but you go there eventually. There's nothing that you straight up ignore aside from the Claw and the Tornado.
What about the very last fire crest you get?
You know what, in my first playthrough, I thought that had a neat counterbalance to the time crest. Where this one's more powerful, this one's more healthy. But in reality, going back and replaying it, I didn't find a whole lot of use for the final firepower. It's really not that much more powerful.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
So Zanrio, I was wondering, from what you've seen of backtracking in Demon's Crest so far, is it consistent with how you think of backtracking in gaming as a whole?
When I think of backtracking and what I've experienced in other games, it's lots of stuff like where I go replay a level to get the collectibles I missed the first time and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that also plays kinds of games where you have or are recommended to go back to earlier places to, say, access a level or a place you couldn't before because have new power-up.
Okay. There's some of that in Demon's Crest as well.
Yeah.
In those other games, do you think the experience is any more worthwhile than what you've seen in Demon's Crest?
No, not anymore, I think.
So, in general, you're just kind of cynical of backtracking, maybe? Is that fair to say?
Well, it depends on how good the levels are. Because if a level is good and well designed and fun to play, then it doesn't matter as much if I have to play it again.
Okay. So in Super Mario 3D World, when you miss a green star, because the level's so good, you're just happy to replay it anyway?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but if the levels are long and boring and stuff, then I'm like, do I have to do this all over again? And then I try getting it all in the first try if possible.
Luckily, levels in Demon's Crest are pretty short, up until the last two. So, backtracking becomes really easy when the bosses are gone, after you've defeated them the first time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because going through the levels again, that doesn't seem so bad, really, because they're short.
Yeah.
Don't take long.
Okay. Shouty, would you say that backtracking in Demon's Crest is consistent with backtracking in gaming as a whole?
For the most part, yeah. But when I think of backtracking, I think of it happening in a more contiguous environment.
Your Guacameles and your Castlevanias?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think of going into levels and then having to replay it to get back out.
Do you think there is a worthwhile distinction there in the experience? That you're always replaying segments of a game you've played before. It's just, one's on a map, one's in a level map. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
No, I don't think that. I think that there's some difference, especially in regards to backtracking and level progression.
So what would you say is the, meaningful difference there?
It depends how it's done, because with the level selection, you can the game can let you select multiple levels, or it can let you select previous levels you've already done if it gives you a linear fashion to progress. But with a contiguous environment, you're more at the mercy of how the world is set up and laid out.
So in something like Super Metroid, where there's no warp points, you have to figure out a way to navigate to where you need to go.
Yeah.
I think actually this is a point worth discussing in that, like, in games like an Untitled Story or in many of the Castlevanias, you have a ton of warp points, and the ground between any two warp points can be considered a single level. If you catch my meaning?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's an area that's distinct from all of its surroundings.
And it's a sequence of challenges with a distinct sense of pacing.
Yeah.
Has anyone here played an Untitled Story?
No.
A little bit.
I haven't.
Not very much.
No.
Like, literally not very much.
No,
Probably
figuratively
about
not much.
10 seconds worth.
Okay.
Just to see if it works.
What, like the WarioWare microgames version?
Yeah, exactly.
Make a pretentious indie game.
An Untitled Story is not pretentious.
Oh no, I was going to say no. The action they wanted me to do was complete the game 100% in 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's totally possible.
Oh yeah.
They did it on Awesome Day Indie Games Done Quick.
That's true.
Pretentious indie games done quick.
Blue Glass wouldn't do that.
Now Matt Thorson is never going to give us an interview.
Look what I've done.
Wario Fan 63, is backtracking in Demon's Crest consistent with how you think of backtracking in gaming as a whole?
Shouty kind of said what I was going to say, but smarter.
Wow.
So let me prompt you in a different direction. What about Super Mario World? Is that comparable to Demon's Crest?
I don't know. I mean, that's just that's sort of like a level by level thing, and it's not like Mario gets any permanent power ups there.
You have the switch blocks.
Oh yeah, the switch blocks, and
even Mario has an exit out module for its levels.
Backtracking in the context of Mario World is just mostly finding the secret exits, I suppose, which is pretty fun. But I don't think that's like Demon's Crest, where you're hunting for items and whatnot.
What would you say is the distinction?
Well, Mario seems very... Okay, the distinction is Mario has temporary power-ups and Firebrand has permanent power-ups. Mario doesn't get extra life points unless he gets a mushroom or something, and even then he can lose that. I mean, it's not like he can get a mushroom that gives him 10 health points.
So there's just like a whole host of ramifications there, from like not as many differentiations between times that you backtrack, and there's not as much the reward is very different for backtracking.
Yeah. With Demon's Crest, it's building your character, and with Mario, it's expanding the world map.
Okay. I think I would be comfortable saying those two are just too different to compare.
Now let's compare Demon's Crest with Pro Evolution Soccer 2014.
Well, I consider backtracking... No, I don't know enough about soccer to make a joke.
Oh.
So, before moving on, I just wanted to mention one thing that hit me while Shouty was sort of guiding me through Demon's Crest, is that maybe you haven't seen this too much, Wario fan, but bosses do reappear.
Oh.
I guess you've seen Arma twice, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. I thought you meant bosses reappear where they died.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's
no, I've ran into multiple bosses then.
And on my first playthrough, I thought, this is bullshit. Why don't they just develop more bosses? But in retrospect, in the context of the game as a whole, learning how to apply new powers in different situations and think about the same thing differently. I think fighting old bosses works well with the game's overall theme of experimentation and puzzle solving. So Wario fan, you said you liked getting to see a puzzle and then get the solution later on. Bosses are sort of that way, where, like, man, if only I could shoot faster, or man, only if I could fly up to where he was so he wasn't so friggin' annoying.
Yeah.
And then you get the power that does that, and then you get to fight the boss that was annoying without that power-up. So it's neat that you get to re-experience bosses and think about them in a new context and, solve a puzzle that you had to get through before. And, of course, the health is adjusted, so the health on the bosses is adjusted so that your solution doesn't just, outright kill them. It's neat that it's sort of figurative backtracking, if that makes any sense.
No, I get that.
And it made the game nice and consistent. I liked that.
So it's a microcosm for what the game actually represents as a whole.
I don't know if... No. I don't think I could say it's a microcosm.
Oh. So you're saying it's more in line with what the game is trying to say?
Right. It's like an interpretation of the rest of the game through the lens of combat. Did we want to mention anything else on backtracking?
I think we've backtracked enough on backtracking.
Why can't Demons Crest crawl?
Sometimes I wish he could. He has such a huge hitbox, and especially on the middle final boss, that becomes a huge problem.
Oh boy.
Does?
Because, you can shoot to block enemy shots, but your shot does not block your feet area, if that makes any sense. This time I wanted to go a little deeper on the concept of exploration, and I think we did that successfully by choosing one aspect of it to focus on. However, we also discovered a breadth of discussions to have just about backtracking itself. Each person introduced their own way to think about it, and you could examine every instance of backtracking in each of the 3 lights, providing 3 distinct readings of each moment. It's interesting that a particular moment could be viewed in so many different ways. Whenever we backtrack, I think each way of thinking about backtracking has an impact on us. Each time we backtrack, we want it to be enjoyable, we might have to solve a puzzle, and we might be rethinking how we play. Those are all happening at the same time and cast a single moment in layers of meaning. We might have to backtrack to this topic sometime and take a different approach to uncover a little more of it. For now, to cool off, let's discuss our thoughts on the recent Hyrule Warriors debut trailer and our end-of-year gaming plans. Alright, we're almost finishing up here, but I was wondering, Shouty, did you have any thoughts on Hyrule Warriors?
I thought, when I think of Hyrule Warriors, I think of how cool Link looks, just his general appearance.
He has that cool scarf.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Link look any cooler than he does right now in Hyrule Warriors.
What about Soul Calibur?
No, you can't beat that scarf. And that chainmail.
Okay.
It's I can actually say that Link looks cool here. I didn't really care for his appearance in other games, and I thought he was just expressive and neat and Wind Waker, but now I think he looks pretty badass.
No, I think you bring up a good point that they should have used Toon Link. Wario Fan 63, what did you think of Hyrule Warriors?
Well, I the music just had me pumped up from start to finish there.
It was good trailer music.
Yes. Well, I've never played a Dynasty Warriors, so I can't say too much, but it'll be interesting. That's for sure.
I've watched a friend play some Gundam Gundam Dynasty Warriors.
Was it soup?
It was not soup.
Oh.
And last night he finally got to one of the missions that involved the original series. So that was neat to see Amuro again with his dub voice back.
Did he do a Shining Finger?
I don't think so.
That's the different Gundam.
I understand that.
Every Gundam must have Shining Finger.
That is my demand. I do not think it is unreasonable.
So do you think, Link will have a Shining Finger?
Absolutely.
And it has a sword beam?
Yes. Yes, it'll be a Link Gundam, Shining Finger, One Piece, Fist of the North Star, Warriors. That's all of it.
That's quite a crossover.
I'm sure it's not favored in the advantage of the Gundam series, since you have the giant robots.
Robots schmobots. Zanrio, did you have any thoughts on Hyrule Warriors?
Unexpected?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if many people were expecting it, but I think looking back it kind of makes sense in that Tecmo Koei has had a relationship with Nintendo maybe since Other M, maybe before that, Wario fan?
Oh yeah, I'd say, let me think, Fatal Frame 4 even?
That was Wii exclusive, is that?
Yes.
Oh, neat.
Huh?
Was that Wii exclusive?
Yes, it was. It was.
Okay.
And, the one thing that stands out for me is that the main character, the girl, had some bonus costumes themed after Nintendo characters. They're very cool ones at that.
Did she have like a Luigi costume?
She did, yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing that and being like, "What the?"
It's great because it's a horror game, you know. It's like, you know, Luigi's Mansion, but
this game is literally Luigi's Mansion.
What?
Yeah.
This game is literally Luigi's Mansion now.
It pretty much is. I mean, camera, vacuum, they're the same thing.
The Polter Click 3000.
Yeah.
But anyway, if I don't know much about Dynasty Warriors, but from the trailer, the game looks fun. So.
I guess all I know about Dynasty Warriors is that they have a lot of customization and sort of RPG elements and weapons and stuff, but people tend to complain about how samey and hack and slash, how samey they get, and the combat kind of grinds on you after a while.
Soup would tell you otherwise.
Right, there is a specific kind of gamer that enjoys it, and most others that don't.
What strikes me as odd about this, though, is most Dynasty Warrior games don't really have any level of polish. They're usually really
cheap.
Yeah, they're cheap, but Nintendo likes to polish their games. So I'm just wondering how this thing is going to turn out.
Well, what would you say based on the trailer? Didn't it look polished?
No, it didn't at all.
Oh,
I saw bokoblins blinking in and out.
That's their power.
No, it's not. But
Boblins can clip through anything.
it just didn't seem like it was holding together. But it was still impressive for something that they probably put together in a few weeks or so.
Personally, I wish it had motion controls, and I know it won't.
Yeah, I really wish it would have had motion controls. That would have made it somewhat different from most Dynasty Warriors games.
Do you remember the final sequence in Skyward Sword where you run down that spiral and you have to slice up all the bokoblins?
Yeah, the Horde battle.
Like, that would be Hyrule Warriors, the game.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention about Hyrule Warriors that I hope you get to find items and stuff, because I like doing that.
Yeah, I hope there are some puzzle elements.
Or something from the Zelda side. So, before we sign out, Wario Fan 63, what games are you going to catch up on your days off for the holiday?
Well, if I can tear myself away from Bayonetta, I think I'll be playing Kid Icarus.
Nice. Thank you for that. I look. The more I look at Tearaway, the more I want to play it, and it was Shouty that kind of turned me onto it. Zanrio, any games you're planning to catch up on while you're on holiday break?
Well, if everything goes as planned, some PS3 games, because
Ooh.
I want a PS3 for Christmas.
Can you play Sly Cooper 4 for me?
Yeah, that's actually one of the games I'm hoping to get.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Any others?
Yeah, well, various Wii U games, maybe play some more Mario 3D World.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, and Link Between Worlds. I haven't played that enough yet.
I'm putting that off until I have some time to seriously devote to it, but I try to forget that it exists.
Why?
It looks really, really good.
Oh,
and
so you don't want to be tempted by it.
Yeah, because I seriously don't have the time for it. So, Shouty, are you going to catch up on any games during the holiday break?
Well, like I said, I just got back into Wonderful 101.
Oh, that's right.
And
okay.
Just maybe, I could play some other games I have on my backlog. Like, Metroid Prime 3,
Ooh, oh.
I haven't even touched Okami.
Yeah, Okami's another one that I need to forget exists. I don't think I'll ever have time for that.
Yeah.
Have you played the first two Metroid Primes?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely need to play the third. It's, the two Metroid trilogies are really interesting in that, the individual games work well enough on their own, but they work the best as, 3 acts to an individual play.
Yeah.
Myself, I've been catching up on my Steam backlog while not many games have been coming out, so, I've been learning foul play a little bit. Jamestown has been surprisingly rewarding. I was expecting a really dumb and stupid game, but no, it's surprising, how faithful it is to the manic shooter tradition while being accessible and not at all frustrating. And I would recommend it to anyone who wants to play a manic shooter, but doesn't want to invest a year in learning a game.
What's foul play?
Foul play is an indie brawler, and watching footage of it, you would say, oh, this is Castle Crashers. And, maybe that's good for some people, but Castle Crashers is not my kind of game.
Not even with other people?
Well, anything's good with other people.
Yeah.
People who love people are the best kinds of people. But no, foul play has some. It's not like a terribly deep game. It's still a brawler, but it still has some engaging mechanics where, in order to throw an enemy, you have to block one of their hits. And once you grapple them, there are a number of options you have for doing stuff with them. So it's neat. It requires a little more strategy and attention than usual. And, there's a lot of text to scroll through, though. So, of the indie brawlers I've played, Foul Play is one of the better ones. Any final words, Zanrio?
I don't know.
That's as good as any. Wario Fan 63, any final words?
Don't spit against the wind.
Sage advice.
Exactly.
Shouty, any final words?
Don't pour sorbet on your cat without the whipped cream.
That was really broken up for me.
You didn't hear it?
I heard
Okay, I'll say it again. Don't pour sorbet on your cat without the whipped cream.
That time I heard it, but it didn't make any more sense.
Are you sure?
I think it made less sense.
I don't have any final words.
Oh,
Thank you all for joining me. I think we had some intelligent discussion, and I learned a little bit today. I grew. All music in this podcast was taken from Demon's Crest. I'll leave you with this final thought. If we look at everyone's different responses to the questions about backtracking, I wonder if you'd find a correlation to the kinds of games they like to play. It's also nagging me that we might have missed a particular way to view backtracking. Or, heck, if it's even possible to enumerate all the different ways to view it. If you have any comments or questions, please send an email to vgcommune@gmail.com.
Is a hack and slash?
It's
well,
a hack and slash insofar as Devil May Cry and God of War are.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I just don't. I mean, Wonderful 101 isn't very swordy with its actions, is it? I mean, I know there's a sword, but it's mostly just punching, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So it's hack and hit.
And I guess
with multiple weapons.
To me, whenever I hear hack and slash, I always think of Dynasty Warriors. So that's just, I don't know.
Oh man, see, well, I think that okay, Dynasty Warriors can be a hack and slash, but also Devil May Cry can be, and that's just like the width of the genre.
So, are you saying Devil May Cry is literally Dynasty Warriors?
That is exactly what I'm saying. Oh, maybe we should discuss Hyrule Warriors in the outro.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright.